To color or not to color? Hello and welcome to my channel. I am CrisiMi and today we are going to discuss about colors and about our need to protect them, to use them and to value them in all ways. Why do we have this need sometimes to protect colors? Well, I never thought this would be the case, but it happened to me very recently, and maybe it happens also to other people, though I never took into consideration the idea that somebody or at a certain moment there are people that could possibly interdict you the use of color. Well, I will tell you what happened recently. I was developing a project in the art school, in the Faculty of Arts, where I'm going and I'm still studying. And there, some people made comments of the fact that my works have already too much of a color. So this is a story, an incredible and stupid, I would say, story about people who say, wait, you use too much color. But not people, just in general people that should be specialists in color and in art. So if you imagine, and I will show you images of the works that were supposed to be too colorful. So these people actually just said that we students, and probably they just didn't say only to me this, we use too much color. Well, how is that too much color? We need color. Color in all aspects of our lives. It is well known about the effects of color, even if we talk about clothes or talk about our environment in our room or on the street. Well, color is such a wonderful thing that we in the world today have in so many hues and so many nuances. Well, so the people who work on this project, who unfortunately create other artists and educate artists, are saying that we use too much color. Well, color should be played with, color should be tested. I mean, we should be always searching for new combinations of color and new nuances to put together and see what is coming out of that. Well, those people that I'm talking about and that made me wonder what is going on, and do we really need to stand for color, to protect it and to promote it? Well, they said that no, we can't use so much colors, and I mean 1, 2, 3 colors, that's the most that I was using, because this would shame our school. Well, what's going on? The Dark Ages. And after this amazing, in a bad way, incident that I had, by the way, they took my works and they put some muddy, brownish colors on it, because this was supposed to be the better way of presenting works made by students. Well, you see how they look like now. After this, I remember then 1 or 2 years ago, I had the same issue. I was rejected from an exhibition because supposedly my works were too colorful. I also let you see my too colorful works. Well, they were too colorful for the exhibition, and well, that was it. If you use too much color, you're not a good of an artist, are you? The Dark Ages. And I'm going to tell you another story, which this time is funny and is in complete contradiction to the other stories where they were supposedly too scared of the color. The story is about people whose reaction is the perfect feedback for color. Well, in another exhibition, I had some pieces, ceramic pieces, that were very raw, red, bright red in color, so wonderful. And guess what? They were stolen from the exhibition. Of course, this was not a nice surprise at that moment, but this showed very clearly that people mostly enjoyed the bright color. It was so attractive, this red, and it also was mixed with other colors, but especially mainly and so much red. And what it was a brutal feedback, yeah, I know, but it is a big confirmation of what color does. Color is so enjoyable, and sometimes people, when see colors, just cannot hold themselves and feel the need to just grab it and take it when nobody sees. Okay. The Dark Ages. This story about red reminds me of something else. Reminds me of the history of pigments and of colors, because red was one of the first and oldest pigments ever used by humankind. You know, humans have went a far way to do colors. Since the prehistoric times, they left their marks, first in caves, then on ceramics and on other utility objects. But the idea is that they, since the oldest times, try to color their lives. I mean, there are discoveries of cave paintings that are dated back to 70,000 years ago, or even more. The historians and archaeologists estimate that the first pigments were developed around this time, meaning 80,000 years ago. And one of the first colors was red, then some yellows, ochre yellows, browns and white. They were the basic colors of that moment, but they were absolutely beautiful. And why bother and search for new colors if you could just take some mud and do some shapes with mud on your cave walls, isn't it? Well, it's not that, because humans have always searched for color. And since that moment, they tried their best and more than that to do all the colors that were in nature and beyond nature that they saw surrounding them. Egyptians used uranium, so toxic elements, to do yellow and goldens, beautiful goldens. And all kind of toxic elements were used to make pigments in antiquity and even in more recent times. But this never stopped humans from using colors. You know, some of the most toxic pigments were made from arsenic. Some yellow colors made by the ancient Egyptians, and more recent, around the 18th century. There were some very beautiful shades of green made from arsenic. The first of them was made by Carl Schiele. It's the famous Schiele green, which was like an emerald, very beautiful green. And everybody, the rich people, put green on their living rooms and on the toys for children. And even in some sweets, it was so toxic that it's considered to have killed many people a long time. But this never stopped them from using it because it was beautiful. And then the Paris green, which was also made of arsenic, extremely poisonous and very much loved and used by impressionists, which never stopped from using it and did all those masterpieces with this beautiful Paris green, although it is supposed to have blinded some of them or caused diabetes and so many other health issues. But this never stopped people alongside history to use these wonderful colors, even if it was very well known that they were made of all these toxic materials. Other toxic materials used were lead and cadmium, and as I told you before, uranium. They sometimes use cow urine to make yellow, the Indian yellow, a very beautiful yellow used. And they didn't stop from using it just because it was of cow urine. Yes, well, and also let's not forget that artists, and not just artists, everybody in this world is and was and will ever be crazy about color. Let's not forget about the shade of blue, the ultramarine. Cum se zice asta? People along history were open to pay small fortunes for colors, like the beautiful blue, ultramarine blue, that was so precious in Renaissance especially, and what wonderful color it was. It was so precious and so expensive because it was made from the precious stone lapis lazuli, which was very hard to find and was extremely high in price because there was only one source in the world of lapis lazuli at that moment. People never stopped from paying the value in gold, the same weight in gold, for this amazing blue. And then even in the countryside, along the ages, they had recipe books. I recently saw in an ethnographical museum a recipe books of families that were making textiles and tapestry. They were sharing these recipe books for colors made of plants and herbs, and they were like secret formula that they were giving to their apprentices and only to them. So it was an entire school of mystery at the chapter of color, and everybody was dying to put their hands on these mysterious recipes of color. So I wonder, when people were doing all this with them risking their lives and were never giving up on colors, now on today ages, when we have so many hues which are absolutely safe to use, we have given up to all the toxic elements in the colors. Now there are people, and artistic people especially, it's important to think that they are artistic people who say that sometimes colors can be too much. The Dark Ages. Is there ever too much of a color when you think of that? I invite you to check, just Google it, into Oriental art, into Islamic art, and there you will see all kinds of color, all shades, all nuances, put one next to another, and the result is stunning, is amazing, is nothing aggressive there, is nothing hurtful for your eyes or unpleasant, because when you draw a line, the use of color results in attractiveness or non-attractiveness. Of course, there is a science about the use of color, about the combining colors and association of different shades and nuances, but you don't really have to be an art specialist or a color specialist to understand and to judge the pleasure or the non-pleasure that some colors give you. When you have doubts that there is too much color in your composition or in your clothing or in whatever it is, do as the master painter Henri Matisse did. He used so many colors, he was a lover of all colors, and in order to soften them and to make them more pleasant and to cut this aggression that the addition of so many colors provokes, he used to put some black and white stripes, or anyway some black and white patterns that immediately soften the impression, the whole impression of the work for the viewer. So check this also on Google. So that's it for today. I would very much enjoy if you leave me a comment to tell me your experience with colors, or to tell me if you ever had somebody to stop you from using in whatever you wanted to use the colors of your own choice. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and give a like and share it with your friends. Bye! Nu gata partea asta. Impressionist. The Dark Ages.